Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bandwagon Sports. Today I am here and I wanted to talk about the three top undrafted prospects right now that are circulating around, and those guys are Shane Wright, Matvei Michkov, and Connor Bedard, who, as I said, are the three top undrafted prospects right now, and oh my god, these guys are just all so great. But I really wanted to make a video comparing all three of them because I think all three of them could potentially be a next generational talent player. I think that they all have different styles of play, and I think that they're all going to excel in their different styles of play and kind of be the top player in their styles of play respectively. But I think the one thing that they do have in common is any team would salivate over being able to get one of them, and even me just thinking about these guys coming into the NHL makes me just so excited, and I just can't wait. So I'm going to hop into today's video. I'm going to compare all three of these guys and kind of decipher which one I would rather have and what one I think will be the best in the NHL. So without further ado, let's begin. So starting here with the oldest of the three players, and that is 17-year-old Shane Wright. He is a top prospect for the 2022 NHL entry draft. He is Canadian. He's 6'1", 187, plays center, and he shoots from the right-hand side. Overall, Shane Wright, I think, is a really great player, and just getting into the stats, last year for Kingston in 2019-20, in 58 games played, he had 39 goals, 27 assists for 66 points. He had a -6 and had 10 penalty minutes, and I believe he won the CHL Rookie of the Year, which was definitely well-deserved for Shane Wright. 37 goals on a pretty lackluster team like Kingston is pretty amazing, and I think he played absolutely amazing. He exceeded my expectations for what he was going to do in his rookie year, and just excellent. Oh, I think I said 37 goals. He had 39 goals, actually, so a 40-goal season out of a 16-year-old in the OHL. Pretty crazy, and this year in the U18s for Team Canada, in 5 games played, he had 9 goals, 5 assists for 14 points. He was a +12 and had 2 penalty minutes, and Shane Wright, I think, is a very, very good offensive player, but he can also play on the defensive side of the puck very well as well, too. And one thing that I do really like about Shane Wright is he doesn't take a lot of penalties. He's a very poised, very think-first player that really thinks before he acts. So if he gets a penalty, it's a pretty rare occurrence either way. But I feel like if Shane Wright gets a penalty, it's more intentional than anything else because he really doesn't get penalties very often. And he's only had 12 penalty minutes in his professional career so far in the OHL and the U18s. But overall, just a really, really great player, and his top skills, he has a wicked shot, like just 39 goals in the OHL. That proves that he can shoot the puck pretty damn well, a lot better than a lot of players in the OHL. He has a playmaker's mind as well. He's a great two-way offensive player, and I have two different types of two-ways. There's the traditional two-way where he can play defense on offense, and I also have the offensive two-way where he can shoot the puck and you can also pass the puck. And Shane Wright is an offensive two-way force. He can pass the puck, he can shoot the puck, and he also has a skill somewhat like Connor McDavid, where he powers past defenders. I think with McDavid, it's more he dangles past defenders with his stick, but Shane Wright just blows by defenders. And he doesn't have excellent speed. He doesn't have excellent hands. He's just so powerful, and he has such great puck possession skills that he can just mow through OHL defenders with ease and get a great chance in front of the net, and I think that's a great skill for Shane Wright. A comparison, I don't really have one, mainly because Shane Wright he's an offensive player, he's a defensive player, he powers past defenders. There's just really nobody that I think is like Shane Wright in the NHL right now, and even if there are players who have the similar style of game, maybe not to the same degree as Shane Wright, I don't want to compare them to Shane Wright because Shane Wright is going to be 100 times better than those guys. He's going to do those things much better than those guys, and I just think that Shane Wright's a great player, and let's move on to the second guy I have here. Okay, so now moving on to the second player, Matvei Michkov. And Shane Wright and Matvei Michkov have two totally different styles of play, and this is why I get into the conversation of what player is going to be better, because all these players are so different, and they have such different styles of play that it's really hard to pinpoint what one will be better, and I think it falls on personal opinion. But personally, I think Matvei Michkov is the best out of these three. he's just, like, I can't even explain in words how good offensively this guy is. So let's just get into his profile. He's a top prospect for the 2023 draft. I currently have him first overall, and Connor Bedard as a very close second. He is 5'10", 159 pounds. And one thing that you're going to notice with Russian players like Matvei Michkov, they are going to be on the lighter side of things. They're not going to be 180, 190 pound guys like Shane Wright is. They're going to be usually around 160, 165 coming out of the draft. He is a right winger, and he shoots from the left-hand side. And like I said, he is born in Russia. So this year in 2020-21 in the MHL, in 56 games played, he had 38 goals, 18 assists for 56 points, a plus 26 and 47 penalty minutes. So unlike Shane Wright, Matvei Michkov does take penalties, and like Shane Wright, he scores a lot. He is a total goal-scoring machine. In the U16s last year, he actually had 76 goals, I believe it was, in 29 games, and that pace is just so unbelievable. He's getting a hat-trick every single game, and like, I can't even explain how crazy that is. That's just insane for any player, even in a U16 Russian league. Like, mind-blowing. Also this year in 2020-21 in the U18s, in 7 games played, he had 12 goals, 4 assists, and 16 points, a plus 7 and 4 penalty minutes for Russia at the U18s. And he had a Michigan, he had a through-the-legs goal in the same game. He had 12 goals in 7 games. He won the tournament MVP. And Matvei Michkov just looks so much better than even the top prospects in this 2021 draft. He looks so much better than them, and he's 2 years younger than them. It is just mind-blowing to me how good Matvei Michkov is. So, going on to his top skills now, I think he is a versatile offensive player. You will see him shoot the puck more often than not. He doesn't have an extremely powerful shot, but it is pinpoint accurate. And I think that, Michkov will develop his shot power over time to equivalent to the NHL and kind of the netminders in that league. But I think that his shot is very good, very accurate, and the power is still there, just not as much as you would think it is with the guy who can get 38 goals in his 16-year-old season in the MHL. Also, he has smooth hands. Matvei Michkov is a very, very good player. He's very creative with the puck. He dangles with ease. Like I said, he pulled off a Michigan and a through-the-legs goal in the same game. And he's a high IQ shooter. Like, just everything about Matvei Michkov's offensive game is A+, A+, like, just a million pluses on the end of that A. It is just insane and amazing how like, far ahead Matvei Michkov's offensive game is compared to every other player that I've seen come out of a draft. And I have been keeping track of players since about 2019 in the draft, and even at 16 years old, Matvei Michkov looks like the best I've ever seen. And his comparison, I have him compared to Kirill Kaprizov. I think that Kaprizov and Michkov share a lot of the same similarities, where they're both very high-skilled offensive players. They're both very good puck handlers, very good shooters, and have that excitement factor. Whenever they get the puck, whenever they're on the ice, it's just boom. Something happens when they step out on the ice, and both of them have it, I think. And I think that Michkov is going to be better than Kaprizov, which, depending on how Kaprizov does in his NHL career, could be some pretty high praise. But so far, I think that if you're comparing Michkov to a former top prospect in the NHL, then that's pretty high praise. So let's move on to number 3. Okay, and now moving to the third and final guy I have in this generational potential list. That is Canadian center Connor Bedard, and again, another top prospect eligible for the 2023 NHL entry draft. I have him number 2, slightly behind Matvei Michkov right now. I think that Michkov has just proved more so far. Connor Bedard is 5'9", 181. So like I said with Michkov, the Russian players coming out of the draft are usually a bit lighter than Canadians and Americans. He is a center, he shoots right, and he is from Canada, as I think I said at the beginning of this clip. But this year, 2020-21, for the Regina Pats in the WHL, in 15 games played, he had 12 goals, 16 assists for 28 points, a +9 and 6 penalty minutes. So another player like Shane Wright, where he takes more penalties than Shane Wright, but still a guy who's not going to get in, who's not going to go in the box a lot. Very disciplined player, sorry. and just really controls what he's doing with his stick at all times. Just a very smart player that knows what's happening all the time, and just an excellent skill to have overall. I think, a lot of Lady Byng and Selke Trophy winners have to have the skill of not taking a lot of penalties, and that's a part of defensive play as well for forwards, so it's great when they don't take penalties. Now let's move on. Also this year for Canada in the U18s, in 7 games played, he had 7 goals, 7 assists for 14 points, which tied Shane Wright, but Connor Bedard played 2 more games than Shane Wright. He was also a plus 12 and only had 2 penalty minutes in the tournament as well. So overall, I think that Connor Bedard and Shane Wright are on pretty equal skill levels. I think that Michkov is the best out of these 3. I think that Michkov is overall slightly better than both Shane Wright and Connor Bedard. But I think at this point in time, it's honestly personal opinion who you think is better out of these 3 guys. And just Bedard's great, so let's go over his top skills now. His top skills is I think he's an explosive offensive player. That's the first thing and foremost. I don't think Connor Bedard is super flashy like Matvei Michkov is, where you notice him when he has the puck every single time, but he's a very protective player on the puck. He protects the puck very well, just really finds a way to get chances and just makes chances happen. He forces them to happen, and that's just a skill that I think a lot of superstars even in today's NHL don't really possess, where they force chances to happen. They're just skilled enough where they can see a chance and they they act on that chance. Connor Bedard makes chances happen. He also has a sharp, accurate shot. Again with Matvei Michkov. Michkov has a very accurate shot, not super powerful yet, but again, he's only 159 pounds. With Connor Bedard, I think that his shot's also pretty, not extremely strong, but like Michkov, a very accurate shot, deadly shot that's going to find the corners, top cheese, whatever you want, 5-hole. Just he finds holes in the net whenever he's shooting. You can tell that he's practiced this shot for years and years on end without stopping, and it's an excellent shot. He got 12 goals this year in 15 games with it, and that's excellent. Also, I think he has an infinite amount of hockey IQ, and like I said, with his explosive offensive ability, Connor Bedard makes chances happen. He is so hockey smart in the head, where even if a player like Nikita Kucherov sees that play, he doesn't think of every possibility that can happen. Connor Bedard really thinks about literally everything that happens with the play. He makes sure that when he finds a player that they're going to do something with that puck, and that's why I say that he kind of forces those chances to happen, because he's smarter than a lot of the players that I've seen in my lifetime in hockey, and I think that he's excellent in that sense, kind of like a Connor McDavid, where his hockey IQ is just overloading, and it's excellent. So that's all I got to say for Bedard. So I'm going to wrap up this video. So thank you all so much for watching, and if I didn't mention this in the beginning, this is a video that was requested to me by a viewer, a Russian viewer by the name of Artem, I think. So shout out to Russia, shout out to all my Russian fans, and shout out to all my fans actually, because I love every single one of you who clicked on this video, and thank you for supporting the channel. But anyways, if you want to, please like and subscribe this video. I am trying to put in a bit more work in these videos, just trying to make things happen, grow the YouTube channel. We're currently sitting at 124 subscribers, and I would love you to be the 125th, you sitting right there behind the camera, yeah you. Please, but only if you want to. If you can't subscribe or you don't want to subscribe because you don't like this video, just click off, no big deal, but thank you for making it this far. So anyways, thank you for watching Bandwagon Sports, and I'll catch you in the next one, but for now,